Today I'm going to do an unboxing and review of these Sly Ralph's Boys from Nightfolk. Northumbrian Tin Soldier, who make these, are a UK company, and as I record this, they have a Kickstarter going on. So if you like what you see, do go over there, check it out, see if you want to back that stuff. They are a small company, and I do love their stuff. So yeah, do check it out if you can. In the meantime, you can see from this that it is still wrapped up. That's how much of an unboxing this is. I have made a start on the plastic wrap so that I don't have to battle with that for minutes while you're watching. But we'll get into here and see what it's like. It's a really nice quality box, actually. I know this is a slightly strange thing to be commenting on, but I do like the box which this comes with. And we'll crack it open and have a look at the miniatures, because that's what everyone wants to see, really, isn't it? So, there's a nice teddy bear with a shield and a sword, and their logo there. So we'll rip into this, really get in and have a proper look. It's nicely wrapped up. One issue I do have when I'm opening miniatures from any company is I hate to see waste, which you do see sometimes with miniature companies. This isn't as bad as some of the companies that you find, but you can see this. So these come in a bag with their bases, which is absolutely fine. But then you compare that to the size of the box. Yeah, I'm not sure it needs to be packaged up that well, that much at least. But at least it's recyclable. It's paper. It's cardboard. Oh, I've got something free in here, I think. That's very exciting. Didn't know I was getting anything else. Oh, I've got a box of dice. I mean, a bag of dice even. Very nice. So they've come along with that. I didn't get this through the Kickstarter. I ordered it later, but I think this was a Kickstarter pledge amount. So this probably does come from that time. But we'll get rid of the packaging. Nobody's that interested in packaging, even if it is a bit of a bugbear of mine. And we'll have a look at some actual minis. So, I'll get this open. And one of the things that's great about Northumbrian Tin Soldier is the kind of sense of humour that they have with their miniatures. I think they're not kind of the really serious, gritty kind that you get from some manufacturers. But I think that's quite a nice thing. And you can see, so these are metal. They are white metal. They don't fit easily into the base, which is a little bit of another issue with me. So that you have to then, we'll have to file them down at a later point. They do all come with bases. Some slide in a little easier than others, but I will show you if it will focus for me. So this is a brewer. It's not focusing terribly well, is it? Oh, there we go. That's just about there. So you can see he's got a barrel on his back. He's got a tankard in his hand, and a mace in his other hand. Nothing like a tankard and mace combo, is there? He's also got a big pot belly, so I can, understand. I can sympathise with that. Yeah, so that's a brewer right there. This guy is kind of laden down with stuff. So he's a porter. He's carrying all sorts of stuff on there. Pans, sacks, barrels. There appears to be a little rabbit at the top. I'm not sure if it's meant to be a stuffed rabbit, but you can kind of see it there, or if it's meant to be a real rabbit. But they are very highly detailed miniatures, and you can see what I was talking about before, the kind of fun and funny aesthetic that they go for, which I personally really like. But if what you're looking for is a kind of really gritty game, it's maybe not quite what you're after. But this is another kind of big, a big guy, like an ogre-y kind of guy. I'm really having some trouble with focus lengths, aren't I? But you can see here he's got a sack over his shoulder. And in that sack is what appears to be maybe a goblin. I'm not sure that as the goblin squire I should be encouraging this kind of thing. Someone just carrying off a goblin in a sack. But you can see there that he's got a kind of club in this hand. Oh, there we go. It's focused nicely for me. He's got a club in that hand, and he's got a goblin in a sack over his shoulder there. So yeah, again, some really nice details. That really good kind of humour. Yeah, piggyback for the goblin. I like it. This is a kind of Robin Hood style to him. This guy here, he's got a very sassy hat on with a feather, and he's got a bow and a sword, and he's also got, I don't know how easy it will be to make out in the silver, but he's got a brilliant like beard. I'm a fan of a good beard, me, and he's got a brilliant kind of swagger to him as well. Um, Even though he's human, he kind of reminds me of the Disney Robin Hood. It's got that kind of swagger to it. I like it. I really like that miniature. Three more from this pack. This is there's quite a bit of flashing on this one, but you can still, once it focuses, you'll be able to see what's going on. So this is a little boy who has a catapult in his hand, very Bart Simpson. The hairstyle's not quite right for Bart Simpson, though. I don't think I'll be painting him yellow. But again, some of the details on there are great. He's got a little bag in his other hand and all kinds of things on his belt. And yeah, he's got a proper like bowl haircut as well, the kind of haircut no one wanted when they were going to school. So I think his mum's been or his dad's been let loose and cutting his hair. Says the man who cuts his own hair, as you can probably tell. But there we are. So then this guy, he has some tusks. So I'm guessing maybe half orc or maybe even a goblin, but he's a bit big for a goblin. If that was a goblin in the sack, not a goblin in the sack. That's a horrible thought. But yeah, this guy looks like kind of an assassin. So he's got daggers in each hand, and yeah, looks like he's up to no good. This guy. And finally, for this set, this guy has a brilliant face. I don't know if you'll be able to see it again. Hopefully it will figure itself out. But he's got a really big nose and like big chubby cheeks. But yeah, he's also got some arrows on his back. That's a quiver with some arrows in it. Interestingly, I can't see a bow on him. So maybe he's just carrying the arrows for Robin Hood. But he's got a little dagger there, and he's got a little scarf on there. And again, as I've mentioned throughout, really it's the little details on these which I really like, which kind of really bring them to life. And so those are some great miniatures there. As I say, again, this one doesn't quite fit in the base, so some work will be required on that. But I thought I would also show you, while I'm doing that, some miniatures from Northumbrian Tin Soldier, which I've painted, because they're a little bit easier to see what's going on, or at least hopefully they will be. So from the Night Folk, which is the same kind of set as these, I've painted the band, and it's a three-piece band, so I'll show you those three. So this guy here with his guitar or his lute or something, and his incredible hair. So yeah, I kind of imagined them as a ridiculous travelling circus kind of band. And to be honest, the sculpting really helped with that. There are some great kind of details on there. Like I say, the hair on this guy is amazing, and he's wearing tiny little glasses on his nose, which is fantastic. Yeah, I really like these pieces, and I think once I get paint on the others, I think I'll really like them as well. But that's the first part of the band. We also have the drummer here. I don't know if he's the best drummer in this band. I don't know if he's the Ringo Starr or not. But you can see there his drum, his great scarf that I gave a stripe to, just to give it a little more colour on there. Yeah, so that's the drummer. And finally, perhaps in the most ridiculous pose of all of them, is this. His official name, according to the company that makes him, is Mr. Toots, which is a fantastic name for like a person playing a wind instrument. But you can see there the kind of details on him, the clothes. I went a bit of a crazy colour scheme for these, as you can see. But I also like he's got really big puffed out cheeks. Like he's really giving that some effort, blowing on that. So yeah, I gave him little ruddy cheeks to show the effort that he was doing. And that's actually his beard over his shoulder here. So he has a big long beard, which he's thrown over his shoulder for convenience. And let's be honest, we all aspire to a beard that we can throw over our shoulder. So yeah, that's those three painted up. So hopefully you can see what I was talking about when I was saying about the kind of sense of humour and the interesting kind of different way they do it. So I definitely think if what you're looking for is miniatures for a very serious war game, probably these, at least this collection from Northumbrian Tin Soldier, are really not what you're going to be looking for. But I think if what you're looking for is something a bit silly, something for you go to a town in your D&D game and it's full of slightly strange people, and let's be honest, we've all had those towns in our D&D games. Yeah, I think these are great miniatures for that, and I'm really looking forward to getting some paint on these. And as I mentioned before, there is a Kickstarter going on by this company at the moment. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll put a link below. If you're watching on Twitch, I can't do that as far as I know, but you'll have to believe me. You can. It's only going on for a couple more days as I record this, so do check that out if you are interested in that. And yeah, I think I would definitely recommend having a look. The miniatures definitely aren't for everybody. I think they have a unique style to them, which is not going to be to everybody's taste. But check it out, see what you think, and it's a good time to be supporting small businesses if you can.